Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. That is the Coffee Company live here on the Coffee Company. And of course, because it is Monday, Tottenham on tour, the world famous home of Levy Gone and home of Brian Daigle's prank therapy session as well. And we're back. The weather is, well, we have to look at the weather, don't we? What is the weather? Today it is Monday, the 8th of September, and it is a coolish 21 degrees centigrade, and we've got a lot to talk about today in terms of what's happened over the last 28 hours, and no one's ever said that, last 24 hours or last even 12 hours because a statement was released. But Brian, you need to open something.
Yeah, let me open the Frank therapy session for all the Frankaholics. Hope everyone is doing well. I've had my first post-Levy shave, so even if I put my glasses on, we may have an uncanny resemblance, but it means nothing anymore. Hope everyone had a great weekend, whatever they did.
Indeed.
And yeah, I knew things were cooking with this last night, but I haven't seen the statement. So when we go through the statement, this will be I knew things started coming up with Amanda Staveley. But then we will go into this. Interesting times.
But before we get to the statement, let's see who's in the chat to take us through the show. We got Adiz is in the house. Good to see her. Good to see her, Adiz. We got Logan THFC. Good to see her. The number one alcohol bar in the world.
We're going to come back. I've started your thing. We're going to come back to that.
The number one alcohol bar in the world. We've got Malwares in the house. Good to see her, buddy. YouTube member, the first YouTube member clocking in. Sub to Tottenham on tour for Brian Daigle. Good to see her.
Can I just say to people like Malware, sub to Tottenham, to Jack, and everyone that normally tunes into Late Night Lily-White. I didn't do last night because there was literally nothing to talk about.
Except for the statement, which has literally come out, and you could have talked about the statement.
The most important thing, mate, I was absolutely exhausted. I don't know what came over me yesterday. So I will be doing one tonight. There will be a Late Night Lily-White tonight.
Indeed, but good to see her. Colin Crossamano, good to see her. Good to see her. A Tavercron Wembley 1. Ian Ferguson, YouTube member. Come on, you Coys, Marcus, good to see her. Jimmy Hotspur, Brandon Wallace, Athelston, Drew La, who has been a member for 8 months. YouTube member. Mark Taylor, good to see her. Hopefully you're well. Jimmy Hotspur, Phil P. Woo! Good to see her. We have Emil. We have my lovely Mickey. Levy's out. Cardigan's in. Indeed, it is autumn. Cardigan's in.
I must admit, it's a banging cardigan.
It's a good cardigan. Will thinks I look like my father. So I
love a good cardi.
TK Maxx. Big up to TK Maxx. 185 £185 hoodie that I bought for 35 quid. Big up TK Maxx. Big up. Stephen's in the house. Good to see her. Bertie Hotspur. Seba. Good to see her. YouTube member. Brandon G. Paddy's in the house. Tyler. Good to see her. Shavuatov. Andrew Gregory, YouTube member. Steady as Shark. Spurs fit. Brandon Wallace has now become a YouTube member. Big up to you.
Family. Welcome to the line.
Adrian's in the house. Thank you to Adrian for sending me the statement in a JPEG form. It makes this big up to you, Adrian. Thank you very much. But we will bring up the statement here. We're gonna get going on the statement immediately. I have the window right here. Here we go. This is what it says. Hopefully it comes up now. Here is the club statement, and I'm going to read it as follows. The board of Tottenham Hotspur Limited, Tottenham Hotspur, the club or the company, is aware of recent media speculation and confirms that a majority shareholder, ENIC Sports and Development Holdings Limited, has received and unequivocally rejected separate preliminary expressions of interest in relation to proposals to acquire the entire issued and to be issued share capital of ENIC, PCP International Finance Limited, and a consortium of investors led by Dr. Roger Kennedy and Wing Fire In through Firehawk Holdings Limited as a consequence of ENIC's majority interest in Tottenham Hotspur. While any offer made to acquire ENIC and a mandatory offer would be required under Rule 9 of the Code to acquire the shares of Tottenham Hotspur not already held by ENIC. The board of the club and ENIC confirm that Tottenham Hotspur is not for sale, and ENIC has no intention to accept any such offer to acquire its interest in the club in accordance to Rule 2.6a of the Code. Each of the blah, 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 all that stuff. The person, you can all see that, the person responsible for arranging the release of this announcement on behalf of Tottenham Hotspur is Peter Charrington, non-executive chairman.
I think you should keep that up whilst we're talking, brother, because we can refer to
Sure. I just know it will cut out because it always does this with StreamYard, but I can bring it up.
Also, I will say, Agabar, you have no idea how many times I've been tagged in it on Twitter today. And I'm going to have to make a whole new bingo card for Takeover bingo, which is a card I'll gracefully do. But go on, Ben, what's your
thoughts? My first thoughts, Daniel Levy has been a very naughty boy because we now know Daniel Levy has now officially, it has now been said, Daniel Levy has been sacked. He is not left on his own. He has been
apparently
sacked.
Not very nicely.
And not very nicely. And this is what I think this statement is, which is if you go to Tottenham Hotspur's website, it gives you all the legal code. Personally, this is my opinion and my opinion only. This is not the opinion of Tottenham on tour. I think Levy was trying to sell the football club from under Joe Lewis's nose. And I think this is where this statement comes in. I think that Daniel Levy knew that a certain Vivian and a certain Charlie wanted control of the football club. And I think he's tried to sell ENIC's share of the club that isn't his own, so he stayed. So basically, he's tried to sell the club away from Vivian and Charlie and keep his own position. They have found out that he's tried to do this. An offer has obviously come in from these two parties. One is from, of course, Firehawk Holdings Limited, and one is from a consortium led by Amanda Staveley and partners. So there's a lot of Middle Eastern money and loads of other places. I think, personally, this is why Daniel Levy has been sacked. I think he has been, in effect, I'm not going to say this because I'm not going to accuse him of anything because I don't have all the facts. It's almost like a tiny bit of insider trading.
You mean like Joe Lewis did? Kind of what Joe runs in the family.
Runs in the family. But what do you think about this statement, Brian?
So first of all, for God's statement, I'm just go back very quickly to the star comment that Logan brought up. Very quickly, Logan, I tell you one thing. I would have absolutely no problems if Amanda Staveley was involved in anything to do with this football club. And anyone, and I know Scott M, because I got him to watch it, will have a comment here.
And you know what, Brian? I totally disagree with you in every way, shape, or form.
Okay, well, let me have
I disagree. I do not.
Let me have a say.
You have your say.
If anyone watches that Newcastle documentary, Amanda Staveley does everything humanly possible for that football club. Amanda Staveley had a lot of passion for the football club. Amanda Staveley did so much with certain signings. You want to go watch it and see what she was doing to try and get players like Anthony Gordon over the line. Think of Amanda Staveley as you will as a person. When she was at Newcastle, she wasn't just there for money. She had genuine passion running through her bones and going to try and get the best for Newcastle. And if people watch that Newcastle documentary seriously, they will see that Amanda Staveley was doing everything possible to make Newcastle a better place. And I'm just talking about her in her capacity at football. Nothing else. I'm not talking about her life away from football. What she was doing for Newcastle, what I would say, if people haven't watched that documentary, which is probably one of the best documentaries in football that I've ever seen. It's an incredible documentary. Go see what Amanda Staveley was doing for the football club and try to get... rather than what we've had with our club losing out on big players because of mucking about, she literally moved heaven and earth to do everything for you guys. Yeah, like Jackson just said, it's you could say that, Jackson. Levy had every chance to make himself look good in the documentary.
They both did it, didn't they? They both did it.
It's on Amazon, Paddy. I can't remember what it's called. Just type in Newcastle United and you'll see it. I guarantee you it'll make you sick, though, with the way the board talk about what they want to do for the football club compared to what we want to do with. Go watch that documentary. You will get a completely different outlook on what Amanda Staveley did. Now, onto this statement. As I was speaking with Paddy, and I can just see his comments in there, I think you're going to see loads of stuff like this. You're going to see absolutely so much stuff like this. Could ENIC just be saying we're not selling this because they want to try and get the price up? Do they want to get a little bit further done, a little bit further down the road? We shall see what happens. I think there is so much going on at this football club. And up until Christmas, I think there's going to be speculation. We've got rid of the ITKs and their nonsense for transfer windows. They're going to have a field day with this. They are going to have an absolute field day with this. There's talks of ENIC putting £100 million in. Whether we think £100 million is enough to start with, don't know. But if we look at it, let's go on the premise that we want Savinho. That's 65 million. That's covered. Let's say we're going for a left centre back or left back up. I'm giving ENIC, they've got 2 windows. Right here, right now, it's now time to see what ENIC are going to do, because we are in uncharted territory, or uncharted waters, whatever you say. I believe that they've got a 2 window, or for me, they've got a 2 window. Let's see what you're made of, because now they've got a chance to do something, and you never know. Not saying that they will change. I don't. David's saying is 100% true. The club is not for sale. I right here, right now, I agree, but I don't think it's off the table. I don't think it's off the table.
Nothing. No business is not for sale. There's always going to be a magic number that they're going to sell the business for, and that's just a fact. That's just a fact with every business. Every asset has a price, and I think if someone offered ENIC in, let's say we're talking 7-8 billion, they can't say no to that money if they offer in idiotic money. But what do you think about the release of the statement, as well as the moment Daniel Levy's gone, these offers are now on the table?
Let me just say, I've just put in it's called We Are Newcastle United, Paddy. Honestly, it's a 4-part. I would urge people to go watch that. And then when we do our next stream, then come back and say what you feel about Amanda. I was about to say Amanda Holden. Don't want her. Amanda Staveley. Like I said, when it comes to
I don't want Amanda Holden in control of the football club either.
It is, honestly, it is probably the best football documentary I've seen like this, or right up there with the QPR one, and definitely better than any of the what is it? What's the one we did? What's it called? What's the documentary? All or nothing. It is a million times better than that. You see the back end of the club and what they're trying to do, and I think, thank you, Neil G. I think if you go and watch that, and obviously it's a documentary, but what Amanda Staveley, even Scott M is saying 100%, he's seen it. People need to go watch it, see what she does for Newcastle United. She did, not only did she broker the deal, she did so much.
You could also say, Brian, I'm not discounting anything you've said, and this is just a chill and chat. We're not having a debate. We're not having an argument. One person likes it, one person doesn't. But if Amanda Staveley was so good for Newcastle United, like you're saying, why couldn't they get shot of her quicker? The moment they
she wanted to leave. She wanted to leave.
she was pushed, wasn't she?
She was not pushed.
She was pushed.
She was not pushed.
She jumped before she was pushed.
I don't think you're right there, but
she jumped before she was pushed.
But also, she wants a club in London. If Amanda, I'm telling you now, if Amanda Staveley came into this football club, I would have absolutely no problems with it. Put it this way: compare her to Cullen, it's not even a competition.
Oh, it's
not
shot in the face. Might be better. Who knows?
I tell you what, Ben, I challenge you to watch that documentary. It's 4 episodes.
I can watch it.
And then I'd like to see what you'd say. But Amanda Staveley did very, very, very well at Newcastle. And I would listen. I'm not saying she's my number one choice, but if she came into Tottenham, I would have no problem whatsoever. No problem. Let's have a look. Well, there's 114 in here. Just yes or no. Would you have a problem with Amanda Staveley being in the club? Just yes or no.
I've messed up. Big up, Ellie.
Yeah,
big up, Ellie. She doesn't have the personal money. She has to find them. She has to find a consortium of people to back her.
Well, I'm saying, so wait, when I said, would you have a problem? So it's not, okay. Does they have a problem or would you want? I can't remember which one I said now.
No, yes.
What did I say? Did I say, would you have a problem with her? Or did I say, would you?
I can't remember. I didn't hear it properly.
I think I said, would you have a problem with her?
What's your opinion, though, on the timing of the statement? The time of the statement is very telling, isn't it? That it's come immediately after Levy's left the football club.
Of course. Well, look, this was always... They have to let the dust settle with all this. You know, as we currently speak, Daniel Levy is lawyering up.
From that statement, it sounds like Tottenham Hotspur are lawyering up, and I don't think they are. I think there will be a serious legal challenge. Scott
put no, so I know for a fact that I said, will you have a problem with her? Honestly, people in America, North America, you're going to need to have a VPN to watch it. But if you're in the UK, you'll get it. Actually, I think it's actually on YouTube as well. Is it on YouTube? Scott, was it on YouTube that I sent you the link? Because you'll need a VPN to watch it if you've got Amazon, but it is on there. The timing of the statement, I think the dust sets. I said when this happened, I think before the international break, we're going to hear loads more about this. I think this is just the start of it. I really do. This is going to be a long stretched ordeal. Obviously, there's been a deadline, haven't they, as well, that apparently people have till October the 5th to register their interest, but I don't know if that makes any difference now.
No.
Oh, you know what it is? I guarantee you, they're saying it. If someone said, right, here you go, ENIC, here's £4 billion, or 5 they're rumouring now, they don't reject it out of hand. They just don't.
One thing I've been very consistent on, I don't think ENIC are selling. I don't think ENIC will sell the controlling state of the club due to the fact I think Vivian Lewis and I think Charlie Lewis want control of the football club. That I think they want control of the club. They want to be heavily involved, which is why Peter Charrington.
No VPN needed now. Okay.
That's why Peter Charrington, effectively their family's closest confidant, is running the show. And I think he is the bridge of power between going from them to going from the old board to the new board. I think Peter Charrington is that. That's why I think he's on the board, and that's why it's even more poignant. I think it's even more poignant that he has personally instructed the club to make that statement. He's instructed the club to make that statement on his words that it's not for sale, because I think he is the person that's going to pass the trust down to Joe Lewis's children. So I don't think that ENIC are going to. I don't think ENIC are going to sell.
So
I'm going to continue with that. That's what I think.
I will say on this. I think Charrington, when he came in, was to try and facilitate a sale. I really do, and I still think that. Maybe not right now. I will say, if Vivian Lewis has anything to do with this new structure and she's involved, then I've got no problems. No problems. I'm still getting 2 windows, but I've got absolutely no problems. Well, there's talk, Mr. Joshua, that he might not even be involved. Big up, Patch. He might not even be involved.
It's rumoured that Paratici was actually Levy's man, and now that Levy's gone, Paratici won't be returning. That's what I've heard.
So we'll see. As I mean, Ellie is just saying, I watched the documentary. She fares brilliantly. But also, I can't put it this way, Seba. When people watch it, I can only give you the example with Anthony Gordon. This woman, desperate, like you watch her. Eddie Howard obviously listed him as the number one man, like the man, top of the list, top of the tree. And she did absolutely everything. She was talking with the main man that lives in Saudi and travels back and forth, trying to get the deal. Kept going on about how much it means to Eddie. Kept going. Flew out there to see him. Flew back. She literally got that deal done. She literally got that deal done because she would not give up. And as soon as he signed, first thing Amanda Staveley does, and again this could be for the documentary, is calls him up, says how delighted we are to have you at the club. Anything you need, I'm here. Blah 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 blah. And you just see her within the football club, just tried to do. Basically, she had a terrific relationship with Eddie Howe. Terrific, and literally anything Eddie wanted, constantly talking with it. You'll see it. Seba, I can't stress enough to people how much. It's only a 4-parter, and each one's an hour. You see how much they do when they get to the final of the Carabao Cup and what they do for the club. She was integral. She did such a good job. I think people need to watch that documentary, like Ellie did, like Scott M did. I don't know if anyone else is. Anyone else did. She was trying to implement things. She didn't step on toes or anything. She really did well. She really did well.
Who knows, Sir N? Who knows? I don't know. David doesn't think Joe Lewis's children want involved. We know for a fact that Vivian certainly does want. She does want.
I know that firsthand. Vivian, definitely.
Cookie, hopefully all well. Good to see a Cookie. Big up FC Cookie. YouTube member. Because they want to run their dad's business.
Yeah, I mean, I know firsthand. Vivian most certainly does. Most certainly does. Oh, well, FC, I'm sick and tired of international. But do you know what? They've got to get done for the World Cup. They've got to get done. And unfortunately, they're going to be every month till November, like always. Oh, mate, 6 days. 5 days. 5. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5. I can't wait. Honestly, 5
days.
I can't wait. You look at it. Kudus is going to be pumped up. Debuts for Simmons.
Xavi Simmons.
Go in there. First Levy-free game at a place where they hate their board. That do you know what? I wish I had a ticket and I was in England to go to that game. That game, Spurs end, is going to be absolutely pumping. And Jonathan, there's going to be a late night Lily White tonight. As I was saying earlier, didn't do one yesterday because I was just exhausted. There was hardly anything to talk about. Well, tonight there is.
Indeed. PSG have lost. What's his name? Winger. What's his name? Dembele. Dembele has got injured. He's got a hamstring problem, I think. I'm not sure it's a full hamstring injury. And someone else lost it. Someone else got an injury. I can't remember. Good to see you, the Hotspur herd. Good to see you. Hopefully you're well.
Big up Hotspur. Big up Dan. I hope they sell up, but you already got people moaning what type of money gets put into the club. And so, yeah. Listen, I don't care whether I separate religion and football. Money, where it comes from, I really am not concerned. Let's just hope. Well, listen, like I said, ENIC are here right now for the foreseeable. And when I say foreseeable, I say to at least the summer. But I keep saying, listen, if someone comes and says, right, £4-5 billion, you're telling me the Lewises don't think about it? They won't go, no.
I personally think that's not going to happen. I think if investment comes into Spurs, it will be 20% of the business.
Well, hopefully it'll be Levy shares.
Well, this is what's got to come out in the wash, doesn't it? That's why I think personally what will happen firstly is ENIC will try and acquire Daniel Levy's shares of the football club. or the shareholder. They will try and acquire Daniel Levy's shares of ENIC. They will try and acquire Daniel Levy's shares of ENIC, and that's if any takeover thing happens, it'll be after they've taken Levy's 26% stake of ENIC Holdings, whatever the company is called.
Let's go for it. Well, you missed a load, mate. Who did the camera focus on? Mate, they were joking about that. I heard Ben and Simeon joking about it. I said the guy that always focused on him when we went 1-0 down, what's that guy going to do, that cameraman? What is that cameraman going to do? We're not going to focus on Levy. Seba, as much as I appreciate that, brother, I won't be back in the country till the 21st. So I'll be at the good old Scotland. Oh, Dewey's got injured as well.
Yeah, Desiree Dewey got injured.
Oh,
that
my
was the
God,
one.
that's two huge players. Colin Crossamano, what time is kickoff? Hopefully it's the same time as England, because England, I actually laid down on the bed to watch the game because I gave Ilana the big TV and I fell asleep before the first goal. That's how good it was.
With the Qatari money, the only Qatari money that Daniel Levy knew was the owner of PSG. And if Spurs want to be a Champions League football club, we cannot accept any money from the owner of PSG, because as we found out with what's happened with Crystal Palace, they got booted out because they had a shareholder of Lyon and the shareholder of Crystal Palace. And of course, Marinakis with Nottingham Forest had to put his club into a blind trust because he owns Nottingham Forest and Olympiacos. So I think that door is fully closed. I don't think that money's going to happen. And I don't think that's going to happen. I've heard rumours that ENIC are primed to sell the club. After the statement, Jonathan, that has been completely and utterly taken off the table. Good to see her. Good to see her, Ryan McFarlane. Good to see her.
Always good to see him.
She wants to control the football club. Yeah. From what we know. Good to see her. Husker Denton. Who knows? I don't know. We don't know. This one,
I haven't seen negative articles, but of course there's bound to be them. He doesn't listen. Maybe he's a bit. Who knows? But Thomas Frank will coach it out of him. I don't think this is what always happens, doesn't it? A player comes to a club and then slow news days, and they try and find anything to dirty the player.
Did these articles happen to come out on the day that Eze had an absolute stinker for England?
My God,
God, was he bad? We'll talk about international football in a minute and how much we hate international. Let's put a bow on the subject of the takeover. We had the statement. We will obviously, if we find out any more news regarding sales or whatnot, we will obviously.
There's just one more thing I want to address before we go to it. It's this one here from Godwig Diego. Do you think ENIC will spend like 300 million on big players, or I think right now, Godwig, I don't think. Let's just take January. I don't think we. The honest thing is, I don't think we need to spend 300 million. It'd be nice to have it available maybe in the summer, but after what we did this window, I think we only need to go in the window for a left winger, which I think we didn't buy intentionally because Thomas Frank has his man, and I think it's Savinho, and a left centre back. Then in the summer we will find out what is going on. They've got 2 windows from me to show that it was Levy blocking everything and not them. And with Vivian involved, I have more confidence that we will invest in the right players and good players. I can't see us all of a sudden spending 300 million. I mean, if they did, bloody hell, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? That would be absolutely incredible. But I don't think, at the moment, I don't think we need to spend 300 million, in all honesty. Maybe in the summer, but for the January window. Okay, yeah, is it same time as England, Serbia? If it's the same time as England Serbia, I'll probably watch Canada Wales because England are just boring. Oh mate, England were just absolutely awful. I mean,
I didn't even watch the England game. I refused to watch it.
Why do you refuse to watch it?
Because I couldn't be asked.
The best thing about it was a certain chant that got sang during it.
We won't talk about politics, Brian.
Yeah,
you know,
I know, but I can mention the best. That's
you can mention a chant was sang.
Yeah, it was the greatest chant. So that was interesting. But the football, I think I fell asleep from the first few minutes.
I played Animal Crossing instead.
I woke up before the second goal, so I saw the second goal. But you would think this team is so low on the table. This is a team England would listen. The most important thing is get the 3 points. I mean, if England don't get out of this group, then there is something fundamentally wrong with this country and the FA in it and the England football team. There is no doubt whatsoever they're qualifying. It's all there's with this group, but this is a team that we normally smash 5 past. But at half time, 1-0 to an own goal. These games, I mean, I can't remember. We actually conceded a goal in qualification, or have we got all clean sheets?
I couldn't tell you.
I can't remember, but the football was absolutely dire.
Turgid.
Oh my god, it was poor. It was so poor. And on Tuesday, they've got the toughest game they've got.
Were England playing?
Serbia, away.
We'll get through that.
It's well, mate. You'd say that the way we're playing against Andorras and shit, I wouldn't put it past us. I don't
know what Thomas Tuchel is doing. One thing I cannot doubt his. Thomas Tuchel was one of the best win rates in knockout competition of any coach.
Yeah.
So maybe when it comes to friendlies, I don't think he cares. But when it comes to managing knockout tournaments, he's one of the best. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. But the football is dreadful. It's dreadful.
Oh, listen, the main thing is when we go to the World Cup and we're actually in the tournament, we'd take 1-0, 2-0 in the knockout tournaments. We'd take 1-0 boring football all day long.
When you've got the talent that England has, we will score goals.
Well, the thing is, like I said, if England get there and go to the World Cup, by the way, I think Harry Kane is a very, very, very big possibility. A very, very, very big possibility coming back in the summer. I honestly think it's back on the table. But getting back to England, like I said, get to the World Cup.
We got to talk about Paddy because big up to you, Paddy. You barely drew to a Hungary team with 10 men.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, they did. They're 2-0 down. 2-0 down, and they showed fighting spirit to get it done. I think England gets the World Cup without a question, easily qualify. And then we see when we get there. But the football, with the quality we've got, the football has to improve. I mean, I don't know why he's playing Harry Kane for 90 minutes Saturday. Thank you, Josh. I want to answer Rayman. I want to answer
0 against.
So this one, all I can say is already this season, 2 players are on 200 grand a week. So we brought in this window, and I don't think Levy was heavily involved in this window. Or he might have been. He might have been, but we've all of a sudden gone for quality rather than quantity. Yeah. And there's 2 players on 200 grand a week, which didn't really happy with us since Kane and Son. So whether that's ENIC, whether that was Levy before he left, we don't know. But like Elliot, we might stick the World Cup. But put it this way, you don't concede, you don't go out.
Yeah, correct.
That's simple.
And speaking of other terrible international football teams, Pochettino is doing a crack job.
Oh my God.
Seriously. God. I watched the highlights of the game yesterday. They made Sonny look like he was 26 again.
1 second.
My God. They were awful. They were awful.
The thing is with Pochettino, and I was kind of thinking this when he became American coach, the kind of football that he plays, as we know firsthand, and the training regime he has.
You have to be there every day.
You need to be there. He builds you up throughout the season, makes you so fit, and has to say, I don't think he's suited for international football at all. Not his actual football on the pitch and his tactics and blah, blah, blah. He could do very well if international football was like a season-long thing. But he is exactly, Josh. Exactly that. I don't think exactly, Jace. This is the thing. He cannot put a team together and get his methods across when he only has them for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Who knows? But let's just say when the World Cup comes and he's got them for the 2 weeks beforehand and then the start of the World Cup. Could be, Billy. Could be. When he's got 2 weeks to work with them morning, noon, and night, like he does on international rate, but then has them for, let's say, not the month, because I can't see them winning the thing, but as long as it does, he probably can get it drilled into them. Will it be too late? Probably. But this is, for me, he is, not whilst Frank is here, mate. Not whilst Frank is here. I listen, Paddy, when we sacked Conte and people were calling for his name, I'm going to kind of contradict myself now. I said I never want him back whilst Daniel Levy's at the football club. Never, ever, because the same thing would happen again. Obviously, Levy is gone now, but we've got my man Thomas Frank, and I don't want Thomas Frank going anywhere. I do not want Thomas Frank going anywhere. Exactly, Neil. I honestly, I keep saying this. I think Frank will leave Tottenham Hotspur whenever that date is as Tottenham's most, it's not hard to do, most successful manager in the Premier League era and rivaling other managers previous Premier League. I honestly think...
Do you mean that with trophies or do you mean that with league positions?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I honestly think we stick with him and back him. Thomas Frank will lead us to the promised land. He'll end the FA Cup jinx. I think the second... back to, is it Canada or England for you? Mate, do you know what? I'm kind of hoping England get Canada in the World Cup. I'm hoping they come to Toronto. Put it this way, Paddy. As Colin Crossamano let me know and reminded me.
Is it guaranteed that Canada will play in Canada?
Yes, Canada will play. Canada are playing in Canada. I don't know if they're doing yet, if they're keeping Toronto as their main place or they're going round Canada to be fair to the three cities that have got it. Do you know what? I want to ask that question. If Poch became available, who would you want, Poch or Frank? And the only answer is Frank. But when it comes to England, Canada, put it this way, Paddy. I am, good afternoon, Naomi. I am, rather than watching England, Serbia, I will be watching Wales, Canada. And I can't wait for Spurs fans. And I hope this guy plays a blinder for us or against us. But obviously, I hope we batter him. Keep an eye on Villarreal's Tajon Buchanan, who people would have heard me speak about many, many, many a time. So, yeah, let's see what people are saying with Frank at sea. Frank.
Sheriff said Poch. He would do, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Honestly, I think... Oh, mate. It would be incredible.
Brilliant. Bobby's still here. Bobby's still here at the moment. Of course, Bobby, we might have to postpone Bobby K's meeting because of the tube strike, because you can't go anywhere in London at the moment. You can't even get out of Loughton, for God's sake.
Thomas Frank is winning this. I honestly believe, and I said this before he came, for my love for him, I think Thomas Frank will leave Tottenham as one of their most successful managers in history. I honestly, truly believe it. I adore the man. adore him. And I literally think if Spurs, let's just say, like we said, that Spurs didn't buy a left winger because they are going, and let's just use Savinho as the example. And then they go, right. And I think Spurs in January will sign a big player within the first 2-3 days. I think they're geared up to do it and get it ready. So they're like, here we go. This is what we're about.
Well, they're going to have to do it now, Brian, aren't they? If they want to quash, the embers, as it were, they've got to put the fire out.
That's exactly what I'm saying, brother. I think they were going to do. Bash, listen. The reason I wanted him before Ange Postecoglou. We were protesting that day, a big protest we did outside the club shop. Final home game of the season. Harry Kane's last home game as a Premier League player for Tottenham. We went in 1-0 up at half time. We lost 3-1. Thomas Frank absolutely out, like literally destroyed us. I have loved him for what he does at Brentford. I love him as a man and how he comes across. I love his tactical awareness. I love the way he changes things. I love it. How Brentford. I watched a lot of stuff with Brentford. A lot of stuff with Brentford. I think. Listen, before Pochettino came to us from Southampton, and Martin Jol when he came over, he is an incredible coach, and I honestly think that this guy has been waiting for a break. Put it this way. United have gone through him a few times. If United had got rid of, if he was still at Brentford and United still got rid of,
they turned down United, didn't they? Him and his coaching team turned down United because they didn't think it was the right project.
I think this man has been waiting, and again, as I keep saying, what also about this is he's actually been allowed to bring in elite coaching staff with elite people that are elite in their positions, and there is a actual structure of working relationships where the coaches have all worked with each other at previous clubs or at Brentford or in international level. Apart from Otto, the goalkeeper coach that we've signed,
he's very good. He's very good.
Mate, he's incredible. He's incredible, and I think
the best goalkeeper in the world over the last 4 years.
Correct. The coaching staff of the club are so cohesive. It's not been like, for instance, Ange Postecoglou never worked with the same staff. It was like, right, we'll try you. Conte had his people do it. Yeah. Jose Mourinho brought in one man. The other two were meshed together. We've lost coaches because Nagelsmann wasn't allowed to. Nuno couldn't bring his second man. We have, even when we signed Santini, we went and hired Martin Jol, who they'd never worked together. Obviously, Martin Jol I love, but it's always meshed together and a mixed match. Spurs have allowed a manager to come in and bring all the coaching staff he's wanted, and he brings them for a reason. This man, honestly, I will keep saying this. I'm his first line of defence. This guy is very, very special. Very, very special. And we're going to see what he builds. And I think, let's have a look. At the end of Poch's first season, the second half was incredible, and we're pushing for top 6, top 5. Second season, we got Champions League. I'm not saying we'll qualify Champions League second season, but I've got high hopes for this season. I think in the second season, people will be talking about us in a big, big way. I seriously believe it.
We have to hope, don't we? But it's your predictions of the choir here, Brian, because both of us we're on the same boat.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. We have got our first Champions League game in 8 days, which is very, very exciting to see how he goes from never managing in a European competition in his debut game in the European football game against Paris Saint-Germain in a final. I think he performed adequately. Of course, he didn't have the squad to get us through that game because you saw the drop-off was a vertical downward drop. It was like, and of course we can talk about that game all we want. Did he bring on the wrong players? Unfortunately, those were the only things he could do. You couldn't play, for example, Paulinho. As much as we'd all love for Paulinho to play 90 minutes, if he had played 90 minutes, got a hamstring injury and been out for 6 weeks, his head would be on a chopping block. So first game, we'll have to see how does Thomas Frank perform in his first game in the Champions League. He's got a very, very good set of players bought in for him in terms of Champions League experience with Paulinho played for Bayern Munich, Kolo Muani's played for Juventus, and now, of course, Paris Saint-Germain. You have Xavi Simons, who's played in the Champions League for RB Leipzig, and Kudus has not played in the Champions League since Ajax, but he has played in it. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting.
I just want to bring a comment out. Baz, what I will say is if you go onto our community post section where it says posts on the channel, if you scroll down a fair bit, just before we appoint Thomas Frank, I posted about 5 or 6 links to show videos of him doing tactical analysis, behind the scenes of how he operates, how he works. If you get the chance, find that post and just click on the links and watch it. And then you'll start to see what this man does. And it's just like Josh said, go and watch his tactical analysis. There's another one, high performance. There's loads of stuff out there. He is going to.
It's not just what he does, though, is it, Brian? It's the way he breaks things down. He seems like a really calm, charismatic bloke. We will have to see how it develops at a new club because it is a new club. But it's very interesting to see the journey. How is he going to utilize the players he's brought in and the players he's got? He's going to have to find and this is why we liked Tom. This is why we liked about what we like about Thomas Frank. He will change things. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Never once did I say it, Billy, about Conte. Conte cost me a tattoo, and I was delighted to see him. I was delighted that he became manager, and I literally. The thing with Conte and Mourinho is they are win-now managers and they need win-now squads. I said when he came, unless he's back, we're going to go nowhere. Obviously, we got top 4. Delighted to see Conte. I was like, that's a high power. Most important thing I was delighted about Conte is if he goes down, he'll call Levy out. And obviously, he did. I'm not, mate. I'm going to be watching at the Scotland Yard. The first game I'm back for, which I'll be in the We Are Tottenham TV studios for Ben, is the Doncaster game. I arrived the day after Brighton. I fly the day of Brighton. I arrive 6 in the morning. On the Sunday.
Yes, indeed. Before we go to Romero has been suspended, so he will be returning to Tottenham early with Mickey van der Ven, with Xavi Simons, and with someone. There was a 4th player in there, 4th or 5th player that are returning to Hotspur Way today.
Nice.
So Romero suspended is returning early. This is a good question from Sam. How will Thomas Frank play Xavi Simons? It's a good question.
Well, it depends where he sits. Well, it all depends. Is he going to start Muani on the left and Richie up front, or is he going to play Simons on the left so Muani can go up front? I think the good thing it gives us with Muani and Simons is that versatility on the left. Ideally, I think he wants him in the 10. I think he wants him in the 10. But you've got that flexibility where, because Muani can't play every single game up front. Or everything. It's going to have to be cleverly done. But we've obviously got Odegaard, we've obviously got Johnson. They're not going to be as effective as these as Simons, obviously. But I think the main aim to get him is at the number 10. What about you, Ben?
I agree. We do know that Thomas Frank does like to play inverted wing. When he was at Brentford, he had Mbermo and he had the other. It escapes me. Mbermo and the other guy. But he what was that?
You say Semenyo?
No, he didn't have Semenyo at Brentford.
Oh, you're talking about Wissa.
No, Wissa was the number 9. He had Mbermo on the right. What was that?
Sade,
maybe. I can't remember. But he had those wingers who became number 10s and they scored a lot of goals. What I personally think he's going to do is he's going to try and make Johnson his back post guy that scores. I think that's why he's put him on the left. And I think he'll put Xavi Simons in the number 10 to facilitate getting Johnson service early in games.
Yep.
I think that's what his plan is. That's why I think he wanted Johnson at Brentford, because of his goal-scoring acumen, not necessarily because of his football ability, because as we know, Johnson, the majority of the time, if he's not scoring goals, he's basically playing with 10 men.
Yeah.
So I think that's where he's going to play him, because I think he's going to get him at the back post to try and score early in games, and I think he's going to have Xavi Simons be that sort of number 10 player. That's what I think. I would agree with you. Of course, if we do need to go defensive in more games, you can then play a 4-3-3 and have that more solid base, and then Simons can come off the left, which would allow Udogie or Spence to go forward, and it would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what happens, but I think he will play him as a 10 as well. I
will say, Billy, that's not right. Maybe with quality, the most backed manager was Ange Postecoglou, who had close to 400 million. I think he will be the most backed manager. I think he will be, but he hasn't been the most backed. Ange Postecoglou had more than Conte and Jose put together.
He did.
But I do believe that Frank will be the most backed manager with quality for sure. I
think with Thomas Frank, he wants quality, but I think he wants reasonable quality. I think that the word I'm going to use is reasonable. He's not getting Xavi Simons was an unbelievable buy. That was unbelievable. But the players he wanted to sign were very gettable players. Koli Muani was very gettable. Paulinho, very gettable. Kudus, very gettable. And the players we were looking at were in that sort of ballpark. I think he wants reasonable players for his project, and I think he will upskill little by little. I think he will upskill, and I don't think he's going to go from there to there. I think he's going to go there, then there, then there, and then I think he'll go incrementally better. And that's why Thomas Frank is a very capable person of convincing the hierarchy to go that little notch up. That personally,
great question here. Do you reckon in big games Simons will play left wing? Do you know what, Reza? I think it depends on the opponent. If it's a team that we're going to attack full throttle, I don't think this will happen. If it's a team like Manchester City where we have to defend from the front and be ready to get the ball, then I think yes. That's an option. Unless he could go for Muani on the left. What do you reckon to this, Ben?
I agree with you. I think in games we're not going to have the ball. I think you put Xavi Simons closer to the striker to cause damage.
Yep. Yeah, but he lost.
He knew on the first day he took control of the club that Kane was leaving.
Yeah, I don't.
You almost got to say he was never going to have him. Kane wanted to leave. He knew he was going to go.
Yeah, this is it. I could say the same that Frank's lost son. It's the same thing. Whether he lost makes it even worse, Billy. He lost Kane for 100 million, and he was backed heavily with players he wanted, i.e. Johnson,
Van de Ven,
Maddison, Vicario. Yeah, he got the players he wanted. He knew Kane was going, and he had that. And we spent heavy again the next summer when we bought Werner back in for some strange reason. We spent 65 million on Solanke.
Don't you rag on our boy Timo Werner? He's the reason that Xavi Simons is here. Big up Timo.
100 million. It's irrelevant. Yes, the only way it is relevant is we lost our greatest ever striker and record goal scorer. And we didn't. If Richarlison and Solanke were not the answer, but it was going to happen. It was going to happen. It doesn't matter if he did not. He knew he didn't have him that season. As soon as he came, it was obvious that it was going. But that's more on Spurs.
Kane told him the first day.
But no, but that's more on Spurs losing not only their record goal scorer, but the heartbeat and the main man of the football club, and not replacing him. When big clubs lose big players, the first thing they do, obviously, you're not going to find another. You're not going to sign another Harry Kane. You're never going to find one. But you go and sign someone the tier bracket below. Solanke is a very, very, very good few tiers below.
Let's call it as it is, Aki. Ange doesn't want a striker like Kane because Ange's striker was the sacrificial lamb. That's why he wanted a Solanke, because Solanke would press. And the beneficiaries of Solanke pressing would be Johnson and the other left winger. That's why Johnson benefited so much from Ange's system, because they would create the space by pressing. That's who was the player that was at Celtic that scored 37? Angus, tell me the striker at Celtic. That's Kyogo. Similar thing. He was the sacrificial lamb, as it were. So he got a striker in Solanke that suited his system down to a T, realistically, and Johnson was the beneficiary for all those goals. So he actually got the strikers that fitted his system in a way. Okay. Kane does not suit an Ange system because Kane isn't going to press, because again, he was 29-30. He's not going to press all game.
So there's 3 comments I want to bring up. I think Bissouma, Tottenham tidbits, will go this week. There's this week of the transfer window left for Turkey. I think he'll be gone. I seriously think he'll be gone. But he's been left out of the Champions League. Frank don't want him here, so I can't see it. This is absolutely bang on. But the most important one I wanted to bring up is this one, which is so true. The bench will start to look pretty strong now.
Yeah, I think so.
We will have a stronger bench than we've had in a long time. He will have options off that bench where we've normally not had game changers whatsoever that can come on. He will have players that can come on, and he's going to be very clever with the rotation. As Jimmy Hotspur said, he replaced that Kane with Johnson and Werner. But, mate, no one's...
to be fair, I'm not going to put that on Ange. That's not Ange's fault. I'm going to be fair. That's not Ange's fault at all.
How is it not Ange's fault? He wanted them both.
That's who the club gave him, in a way.
No, he wanted Johnson.
He wanted Johnson. Werner, I don't know what happened there. But we'll have to see.
I will say, no one... Oh, people in general. I thought you meant us two. Yeah, I think Mawani has shown that he gets goals. And everywhere he's gone off to a very, very quick start. Yeah. I have to say, with Barbaric, he's absolutely right. There will be a press release coming out soon. The coffee company and TOT are definitely not for sale. Company
certainly isn't for sale.
Yeah.
Unless I get £1 billion. If I get £1 billion, you can have it. You can have it.
Yeah. So we'll see what goes on there. West Ham went, yeah. No.
Is Antonio re-signed for West Ham?
No, he was released. Has he gone back?
I don't know.
Let's have a look. West Ham. Let's have a look. August the 7th, West Ham can confirm that following the expiry of his contract, Antonio's left, which is a good thing because he always bloody well scores against us. Always. Yeah, Billy, I understand he scored our goal in the final. The guy scores goals. That's all he does. When he doesn't score goals, like the Bournemouth game, he was atrocious. I mean, a lot of them were, in fair play. 100%, Bash. 100%.
I think he does as well.
100. No, there's no doubt whatsoever him and Mawani start. No doubt whatsoever. I'll tell you what, if you watch, I mean, obviously it's only a training video. Mawani was already looking sharp in training. No.
Man goes to work. No, thank God. Thank God he doesn't. You'll be playing Fulkrug. Really doesn't look good, does he? He really doesn't look good, which means he'll score. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But there is no doubt, J-Med, that Kudus is a much better footballer than
100%. And Kudus was playing out of position This is what I don't get when people do this. It's like he's playing in a struggling West Ham team.
Out of position.
Right, he had him and Bowen and Paqueta when he was available. That's it. Completely agree with you. But what Johnson does...
I agree with you.
Yeah, this I completely agree with. I think he'll be brilliant as an impact sub. I think he'll be fantastic.
If we need a goal,
absolutely fantastic.
I personally think Brennan Johnson's. I will think that Brennan Johnson will be very useful if we're playing a bigger team than us in the Champions League and we need to pivot to a 3-5-2. I think Johnson could be very useful in a 2 up top.
Yeah,
that's where I think he's at his best.
I'll just go back to this. If you look at Kudus's 2 assists that he got in his debut, which is what he was brought in for, his great defending work, which Johnson doesn't have, and leaves the full-back exposed. I honestly, I don't know why people are comparing Kudus and Johnson. Kudus is much the better player. If you look at Kudus' first season at West Ham when he was playing in his position that he liked, I think he got something like 19 goals or 17 goals. Do you guys think we haven't? Do you know, honestly, Mr. Joshua, I will say this. I think we've got a loan striker. Yes, we had to because of Solanke's injury. I think we've only gone and got a loan striker because I seriously believe that Harry Kane could be coming back next summer. I know as well firsthand that he said, as long as Levy's in sole control, I'll never come back to Tottenham. That was a massive thing for the way his exit was done and everything that went on with him. I honestly believe maybe we do get Mawani full-time at the end of his loan spell, but I seriously believe that Harry Kane could be back next summer. I'm not saying it definitely happens, but I would definitely think that Spurs will get a goal. Baby cakes, you just don't know, no.
Big up, baby cakes, big up. But Brian, unfortunately, I have to go. So we are going to wrap up the stream. We need, our hour is gone. So it's time for you to close your Frank therapy session. We will be back tomorrow on the Coffee Company at 2 p.m. UK time, the usual time. And you're going to be live tonight, aren't you?
I am going to be live tonight. I will just end with this. It's already been well documented that he probably will go because
he wants to leave. He wants to leave at the end of the season.
Exactly. He's not going to sign another contract, so they're going to try and get rid of him in the summer so he doesn't go for free. So watch this space. So I will say, yes, there will be a late night Lily White. What's your final comments, Ben?
Let's get back to football because I hate international football. I hate it.
Just got tomorrow to get through. Tomorrow. So you're going to finish for your catchphrase?
But you got to close the Frank therapy session.
Okay, so let me close it right now. Then go with Thomas, Frank, Thomas, Frank, and as always, Levy gone.
And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, if you smell what the cough is brewing, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ciao for now.
Tottenham Hotspur.